it says there are 94,300, now 272 people ahead of me. Expect to wait 1,795 minutes. Yeah. That's crazy. Have you heard of the Chinese video generation software called Hailou AI? Hailou? Hailou. Hailou? How do you pronounce Hailou AI? Hailou AI. Would not have expected that. Hailou AI. Okay. All right. So now we know. So this Hailou AI has been making news mainly because anything Chinese and AI has been pretty hot topic recently. Have you heard of DeepSeek? Now, for those of you who don't know, Hailou AI is a product of the Chinese startup Minimax, and that was founded in 2021. Now, it wasn't until recently in September of 2024 that they launched their Video O1 text-to-image model, which basically allows users to make a myriad of video styles and types just from text prompts. It also allows you to turn static images into dynamic videos. And with all of the recent AI advancement news coming out of China, Hailou AI has gained a significant amount of attention. Now, a lot of people would say that Hailou AI is rivaling Sora AI. And if you haven't heard of Sora, that was the open AI text-to-video model that came out earlier last year. Now let's take a look on their website to see what people have generated using this text-to-video software. How does it stack up? How does it look? If you look at this one, you can see the prompt that they put in, lots of different things, but the most impressive thing about this one is really the light and how this person looks at it generated. It looks really good, looks super impressive. If you look in the background, you can start to see some of the warping and stuff. You really look into the background of stuff. But the main area of focus, this woman right here, you can really see that it's done a pretty darn good job. That's pretty impressive. Let's look at another one. This is a medieval one, as you can see. Also pretty impressive on that one too. You can see a little bit of warping in the face, just a tiny bit if you really look closely, but honestly, if you were just watching this, you probably wouldn't even notice any of that. Also very impressive. Let's take a look at this one also. Prompt is, in 1970, a woman speakers. A woman speakers. Okay, well, the AI doesn't need the prompt to be grammatically correct, apparently. Talking about an engineer who works on his method. If you do look at the hands, though, we have the hand issue again with this one. You kind of get some warping with the hands and morphing. But if you weren't looking at the hands, though, if you're just looking at the mouth movements and the face, that one also looks pretty impressive too. So that one needs a little bit of work there. Now, before we hop into the examples of photos that I've animated on this software, if you'd please consider subscribing, that would help us so much. We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers in the next month, and every person helps, so think about it. Now, I do want to say that the examples that I created are from a couple months ago, and AI moves pretty quickly. So I know this model has already made some improvements on some of the different things. I see that you can do camera tracking and that you can give it a subject reference to create all of its prompts off of. So those are two big things that are already different. But still, this is going to give you a pretty good example of what this AI model can do. So let's take a look at a few of the shots that I tried to have this AI animate, and let's see what happened. So this first one was actually a photo of our wedding, and you can see pretty quickly that it kind of already started with kind of a weird look to our faces, and then we just get creepier and different as it goes along. So very strange. And then also, if you look in the background, it's a mess of hands. It just doesn't know what to do with the hands. It's just throwing a bunch of hands up, waving, clapping. I don't even know what they're doing. That's strange. It's a very strange one. This one pretty much surprised me a lot. This was actually just a still photo of our son, and I didn't give it a prompt. I just want to see what it would do. And honestly, that's pretty scary. It's scary how good that looks. Like, if you showed me that, I would think that was an actual video. Yeah, this one definitely surprised me. I think the most was just throwing in this photo of our 1-month-old son, and it just animated him, and it did a pretty good job. That's amazing. Here's another example of one that just went horribly wrong. This was a photo. You can see it starts off with us at the beginning, and then we just we turn into totally different people. Very weird, very strange. There's definitely something weird going on with my wife's face when she looks down. It doesn't quite know what to do there. It just kind of mushes her face together, and then all of a sudden she looks up and she's a different person. I pretty quickly turn into this other strange version of myself. Yeah, very odd. The legs, I don't even know what is happening with our legs on that one. Legs, hands, it's having a horrible time. That's not going well. Then I tried a couple famous old photos because I was going to do some of the old photos. So we have this one here. It's pretty crazy to look at that, actually. That's pretty insane. I mean, the rice is doing something weird, but as far as animating him in this old photo, not terrible. This is a dolly photo, I'm pretty sure. I mean, it's a pretty weird photo, so that actually kind of checks out with this one. I mean, look at that. Look at what's going on here. You have the cats kind of flying, morphing. They kind of, look at that. There's two cats and then they basically fall down and splash into the photo. Like, that's pretty cool. It's honestly, I think it's interpreting this photo pretty spot on. Like from what this photo is, that's I think a pretty close interpretation of what would probably the video would look like of this photo. Now let's take a look at a few of the different shots that I had created that were from around the Bellingham area. The first shot was just a photo that was an aerial shot of the town. So this is an aerial historic shot of the town. And I just had it basically do a slow arrow fly over the town. And right off the bat, that looks pretty good. Like, that's pretty impressive. Not too shabby. Now this one, I had to add some seagulls in. There's a few areas where it looks okay, but there's also plenty of stuff where the seagulls are kind of doing there's some weird stuff happening with these seagulls. Now this next one that I had, this is an old wharf shot, and I was trying to have it do some people walking around. This one you'll see we had some issues with the people. They're basically just floating on this dock, appearing out of nowhere. We have this guy that just pops out of basically just morphs out of the dock and then starts walking. This one definitely had some weird stuff going on. So I tried this one a couple times to see if I could get something better. I tried to have people just more in the distance right by the storefront. You get a couple seconds here, but you still have some weird morphing in the background. People kind of like morphing around people and whatnot. Now this was the photo of the old town hall. And the funny thing for this one is that it takes the photo of the building, this is it, and then all of a sudden it just makes its own building and then throws some cars in front of it. It's kind of taking some liberties in what it's doing for that. So that was kind of interesting. Here's another one. I just went with a very basic prompt, basically animating the smoke rising from the harbor here. So this is the port here in Bellingham, and that one did pretty well as well. We have a little bit of that seagull reflection from before. As you can see, it seems like it's almost kind of holding on to some of the things that you tell it before, and so it tries to incorporate those in later ones if it feels like it's right. So that's kind of interesting there. Is you can see there's kind of like some, basically it's almost like a memory from a different one with the seagull kind of flying in front of that one. But that one turned out not too bad. This one's still pretty strange. It basically makes its own city hall. Still doesn't do very well with the signs. Still doesn't quite understand what to do with that. You have some people walking in front. It's kind of interesting. Here's another one from the downtown area that I had. It kind of will do weird things sometimes where it'll start with the shot. So this is actually what the shot looked like, and then basically it morphed and it made its own thing. And this last shot that I tried was just, again, a little bit too much, too many details, too many things going on here. As you can see, we have half of a horse walking into the crowd. We have people that are melding into the train. It looks, if you just look at it from a wide perspective, it doesn't look too bad because the smoke and the train going by. But then you can also see the train is shifting. There's kind of a lot of weird shadows. The wheel thing here is, I don't know what it's doing. It's kind of doing something pretty strange there. But yeah, as you can see with the people in the background stuff, it kind of it does a lot of kind of frame blending, just ends up blending everything together, which is kind of a strange look there. All right, so let's throw in a photo right here. I'm going to throw in this photo of my sister and me. This is from when we were quite little. You know what? I'm not going to even give it a prompt. I'm just going to let it do its thing. Okay, so this might be the issue with doing it now while it's so popular, is that it says there are 272 people ahead of me. Expect to wait 1,795 minutes. Yeah, you might not be able to use this as a free account anymore. Might have to actually pay for it. That's crazy. So that's a brief overview of animating old photos in this AI system. Pretty cool. Does some pretty good stuff. Still, it takes, I think, a little bit of work to get things to the places that you want. That's a little unreasonable. What are the prices for this thing? Or the unlimited 1,139 for the year. Wow. Oh, here we go for the monthly. Okay, gotcha. Right now we have, okay, it's $10 a month, $34 for the Pro, or $94.99 for the unlimited. So is it still usable as a free user? Maybe. You might actually have to pay some money to do any generations in a reasonable amount of time, because I don't know if I want to wait behind a 90,000 queue line just to get one photo animated. Thanks so much for watching. Please consider subscribe to the channel, and if you're interested in what kind of content this channel is going to be putting out, you can check out our channel intro video here and see if this channel might interest you. So hopefully we'll see you again. All right. Hey, thanks so much. We'll see you next time.